Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here on it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all over net wrestling radio. Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there, way across the pond, the outskirts of Tokyo, Japan. Dave Coco, what's up, brother?
Nothing much. I'm wearing this shirt because Bear Friend, it was Road Warrior Animals like Japan tour, his retirement Japan tour, and I bought the shirt. And Bear Friend, this is before I met Bear Friend, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, you better wear that on the podcast. You're not wearing that outside in public. I'm like, all right, podcast exclusive T-shirt. So there you go. But yeah, we got. You know what? I look at all the news, look at all the headlines, and it's all international news. I like that. Hopefully we can build a crowd with stuff that we're passionate about and what we love. I always feel funny about covering this, and Boom Boom's more professional than news. But I guess we're going to start off with a sad story and then just go from there. So, Boom, I'm going to hot tag you because I'm the guy who usually yells about stupid stuff, and this is more of a serious situation. So, hot tag to you, Booms.
Yeah, that's what you got me in here for. Very sad news to pass along. The reigning ICW champion, Lionheart, otherwise known as Adrian McCollum, has passed away at the age of 36. We don't know much right now other than he sent a tweet out at 2:40 in the morning on Wednesday, June the 19th, and he was sending a quote from, I think, a TV show called Afterlife. And it says, and I quote, "One day you will eat your last meal. You will smell your last flower. You will hug your friend for the last time. You may not know it's the last time. That's why you must do everything with love and passion." I actually got onto his Twitter page, started looking down, and there's really nothing there that raises any red flags. He tweeted a ton on in the hours before he passed away. The only thing that he did was he did retweet something from Rob Van Dam about the National Suicide Hotline. Now, the National Suicide Hotline number is, and I'm just going to put that out there for anybody who may be going through the same thing. It's 1-800-273-8255, and that's available 24 hours a day. So if you're feeling anything, feel like you might need to talk to somebody, kind of talk it out. There's even an online chat feature there, but the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. Looking back at his career, he made his debut in 2003. He had been a regular in ICW since 2007. He'd worked for TNA during the European tours against Nigel McGuinness or Desmond Wolfe, however you want to put it. He was one of the gentlemen who got his neck broken by AJ Styles when he took the Styles Clash incorrectly. He was only 36 years old, Coco. Only 36 years old. And everybody's completely just stunned here. A lot of condolences are pouring into his page. They're pouring into the ICW page. It looks like he was also the champion of a couple more promotions, smaller promotions there in the United Kingdom. So certainly our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the McCollum family right now as they go through this. We're going to respect their privacy. We don't know exactly what happened, so please let's not rush to judgment. So very, very sad story, Coco. But it's a reigning champion, major promotion. At least when the gentleman, I have a hard time pronouncing his name over in all Japan. At least that was a motorcycle accident. This is just something just sad all around, Coco.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not the right guy for this, but yeah, it's just all around sad, and like, I don't know. It's hopefully he was just happy, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have the right words because I don't think like everyone else. So, and I don't want to like jump to conclusions or anything like that. And I know the way I think sometimes is definitely in the minority. But no matter how someone passes away, we should remember the good times, remember what he does. And, how hard is it going to be for his friends and the promotion and the wrestling aspect to continue on? It's just, it's just an overall sad story. Yeah, I'm not really good at this stuff just because here's the thing, like, you think I would be great at this because I've been around a lot of death, and I'm not. I'm just not the right guy to do. But no matter how someone passes away or what, just try to remember the good times. And he obviously was living the life that he wanted to live. So there you go.
and if you looked at it, with the exception of that one retweet from Rob Van Dam about the suicide hotline, there were no other red flags. I mean, he retweeted a ton of stuff in the hours before he passed away. Like, somebody tweeted, "You are the man," and he tweeted back, "You are correct." I mean, it was just there, and he was like, other, promotions like fighters and stuff. It just there was nothing there out of the ordinary. There was nothing looking at it going, okay, this guy's distraught. This guy is just, he did that one tweet with the suicide hotline, everything like normal, and then his final post, and that was it. So, I mean,
well, no matter what the end of the story is, let's just try to remember the good parts of the story.
Amen. You want to get something a little bit more positive?
I'd like that, just because, I don't want this to go to a dark place, because I'm just a dark person, and I don't know. Yeah, let's change topics on this, brother.
Yeah, and turning now to pages now to All Elite Wrestling, they've announced that they are going to reveal a women's title at All Out. That's on August 31st at the Sears Center in Chicago, Illinois. Right now, what we don't know is how they're going to present it. How are they going to compete for it? They're going to reveal all the details. So I'm actually kind of excited by it, Coco. But how do you think they should do it? They're going to introduce a women's championship. So we're going to find out what's going to look like and how they're going to do it. So put your booking cap on. It's a brand new promotion. You got all this new talent in here. Dave Coco, you're the booker. What do we do?
All right. First off, as a fan / booker, just know that I put the top title as I'm very romantic about it. Probably the only promoter / booker where wrestlers had to pull me aside and beg to lose the title. I believe in long title runs. I believe the best wrestler or the most over wrestler or combination of the two should always be your champion. That's why to men's title, I think Jericho should win. If I was the booker here, I would. This is me. There's a lot of factors in. Contracts are a huge factor, and what shape she's in. You know what I mean? Those are factors that we don't know. I would put it just not knowing those factors, okay? Let's just say everything's on up and up with those two factors.
Okay.
Awesome come. Because she is probably one of the best female wrestlers of all time. She's an attraction, and she didn't have a fair shot in WWE. JR put her over, you fucking bitch. But with that said, like, I don't know her contract, obviously, and I don't know what shape she's in because we haven't seen her wrestle in a while. I mean, I mostly watch New Japan.
A little bit Double or Nothing, and she looked in pretty good shape.
Yeah. But I watch New Japan. I watch Lucha Underground. I watch NXT like a month or 2 months late, and that's pretty much it. I dabble in here and there. I'm like, oh, I'm going to check this MLW show out. I'm going to check out this Dragon Gate show, but not enough to know what Awesome Kong has been doing. So, with that said, I'm a huge fan of hers. And that's who I'd put the strap on because it's star power. It's star power people know. It's someone that deserves to be on top. And then you could build up younger guys or younger gals in this case to try to knock her down. And unpopular opinion, I haven't done my unpopular opinion thing. I feel like I'm an old guy that has a lot of unpopular opinions. I might just do my own segment. Cranky Coco's unpopular opinion. I think Jericho has to win the title. But I'm in the minority.
Okay,
Boom. I'm going off the top.
Shifting gears here too, back to where we're supposed to be here with the women's championship. I do like the idea of introducing the women's championship the way they did the men. They brought in Bret Hart to do the AEW. So let's just have fun here. It looks like, money's going to be an issue, but it's not going to be as big of an issue. But what female superstar or legend would you have come in and kind of introduce the belt? Because that's what I would want to do. Because they talk about AEW's for everybody. The women are going to get paid the same as the men. They'll be treated the same as the men. So if you're going to do that with the men's title, well, let's do it with the women's championship. So
3 names pop in my head.
Okay, go ahead.
One, if it's very TNA-ish, but it will get eyeballs on you. And what I mean by that is we're just grabbing WWE guys now. Trish Stratus. If you're trying to go for that WWE audience, Trish Stratus. If you care about what they do in the ring, Gail Kim, Molly Holly, possible, a Japanese legend. I'm trying to think who else is groundbreaking, because
why not somebody like Wendy Richter or Velvet McIntyre? Well, no, probably Wendy Richter, because she was a champion. She was a champion. I mean, I know who Velvet McIntyre is, but I don't think like the mainstream would know who Velvet. At least this day and age, won't know who Velvet McIntyre is. I'm trying to rack my brains, and I thought about Medusa, but I don't know if that would be possible, because I think she might have some kind of Legends contract with WWE.
I would definitely. I don't know. I'm just leaning towards Gail Kim, because you want to be different, and you also want to be angry at your competition. Gail Kim's angry at WWE. Awesome Kong's angry at WWE. But then again, maybe that's too much TNA. Man, TNA used to be so good. Word on the street is they're good now. But if you thought they were good during that fucking WWE light era, we're just gonna have to disagree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I like the idea. You just talked me into it. Why not? Gail Kim, because she's got some credibility. She's just is she retired yet, or is she about to retire? I know she was.
I think she retired, came back, and is going to retire again. But don't quote me on that. I don't keep up with it. Where's Andy Paps, our professional TNA guy? Huh?
Yeah.
Where you at, Andy Paps? We're talking TNA. We don't know what we're talking about. We need you. Andy Paps is the only person in the world who talks TNA that I trust.
So what I would do is, let's just say Gail Kim. Comes out like a Mary make announcement. Her and Brandy Rhodes are in the ring. They talk about, okay, we're going to introduce the women's championship. Here's what the belt looks like. And it's going to be about hard-hitting action. Here's what I would do. I would make it a tournament. Yeah, I know, crazy tournament. All women's tournament, single elimination, and the reason I would do that is because you get to showcase your women's roster throughout this tournament. I mean, you get to introduce everybody. It's like, hey, here's who I am. Here's what makes me tick. Here's what I do. Here's why I'm fighting. You do that for everybody, and then everybody gets a little showcase. You kind of build some, you kind of build up some love. You kind of see who the fans like, who they dislike, who maybe needs a little work. But everybody gets the spotlight, and plus, it's guaranteed matches for your next few shows, because you could have several women's matches on several cards as time progresses.
I got a question, sir. You know this more than I do, but I thought they were crowning the champ on their first show.
I'm just saying that's how I would do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have not said how they were going to crown that champion. They just said they were going to introduce.
Oh, so maybe they introduce it and then the tournament happens.
Yeah, they're going to reveal it. They're going to basically say, hey, we've created a women's championship. And then now I guess they could do it in one night. They could do a one-night deal, which I don't think they could do unless they wanted to do like a four-way like they did it, but that would be too much like Double or Nothing. I'm thinking long-term. I'm thinking you've got a lot of ladies here on the roster. I want to get them all over. I really want to get them into the mainstream. I want to get some eyeballs on them. I want them to get the spotlight. So to me, that's the easiest way to do it. And as far as who should win it, Two names come to mind. First is the one that you just mentioned, was Awesome Kong. Because one, she has some mainstream appeal because when this tournament goes on, they will have just dropped the third season of Glow on Netflix, which she is a part of. She plays the welfare queen in that one, by the way. Great series.
I still haven't seen it. It's on my. I gotta watch more.
Shame on you.
Hold on. As soon as Netflix is like, we're canceling everything Marvel, I literally haven't logged in. I need to go. I used to love Netflix. And they're like, oh, we're getting rid of Marvel. And I'm like, well, fine. Fuck all the rest of the shows. I'm out.
So Glow will have just dropped the third season a few weeks before that. So she's in that, and you could get some crossover, some mainstream attention with that, or and this will be the Dave Coco route. This would be the controversial route. Are you ready, Coco? And I'd like to think you're going to be proud of me for suggesting this.
All right, go on.
Nyla Rose.
Yeah, I mean, you would get a lot of headlines.
Because you would get, this is the first ever, at least not to my knowledge, first ever transgender professional wrestler. She was born a biological male, but has transitioned since over to a female. And I mean, if you want some fucking mainstream attention, you want to pull the whole SJW, rainbow flag, we're for everybody, yada yada yada. That's how you do it. That's how you get some fucking. That's how you get some fucking attention.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's done right, you don't want it to be, you don't want.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll do it because they've been handling the LGBTQ characters on AEW pretty well. I mean, look what they did with Sonny Kiss. Now Nyla Rose. I'm trying to think, but that's the only two that come to my mind right now. And they haven't, made them like cartoon characters yet or parodies.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that AEW of all companies would handle it right.
I'm gonna go some live comments, brother, and then we'll go to
Yeah, go for
it. Jamie deleted his messages. I don't know why. James Legend says Trish Stratus is a good one. What about Lita? What about Lita? Sorry, I do that like 800 times. I watch this podcast that has to do with movies. And every time someone says, what about? They read it like that. And dude, it's now been a part of my fucking life. What about Lita? I believe
she's under contract to WWE. I think she's got some kind of contract with them. So, I mean, it's not a bad idea. But, I mean, for one, she already helped introduce the Women's Championship at Mania about 2-3 years ago with WWE. And plus, I think she's under some kind of Legends deal. And I just don't know if contractually she can't appear.
I just wouldn't want to fall into a trap doing the same exact thing that WWE does.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Jamie Wisner says, if AEW is for everybody and they're trying to change the world, then why can't AEW do intergender wrestling? Have they mentioned they're not going to do that?
Yeah, as far as I know, they haven't said they're not. And right now, I mean, they're only one show in officially. They're going to have Fyter Fest coming up at the end of the month here, so there'll be 2 shows in. I mean, dude, it's just starting. As far as I know, they've not put their foot down on intergender wrestling. And plus, if they're going to do, I mean, you got to give them time to do it. I mean, they're only doing these spot shows until they go to TV this fall. So I think the door is wide open for that.
Yeah. My whole thing is too. It's just I could be wrong, but isn't something about Canada? Like, isn't there some law in Canada about television? Maybe I'll get Jerry O'Neill from KocoSports on here to do that. Gary North says Sky Sports are dumping WWE in the UK. It's moving to BT Sport in 6 months. I don't know much about European television, but I imagine that's a big deal. I know about Sky Sports. I don't know if I know BT Sport. So maybe that's not a good sign. Yeah, is that a big deal, Gary North? I don't know. RevTech TV says, hello, guys. I want to give a shout out to RevTech TV. He hooked up me on the Twitch machine, and Twitch is my passion. Boom, boom. We're over 50 followers.
Woohoo!
I know. Now, I think this weekend or next weekend, I want to do a 6 or 12-hour stream. I'm addicted to it. Dude, I even streamed last night. I was just so sleepy. But yeah, I'm a big fan. So thanks, RevTech TV. Everyone, go support them. Jamie Weiser says, "Why can't AEW crown the first women's champion in a battle royal?" I think it's been done so much that it
Yeah,
makes
I mean,
the title not seem important.
yeah, they did that at, they've already done that at Double or Nothing. They've already done a men's battle royal. I'm not saying that they won't. I mean, they very well may do that, but I'm just speaking from if it was me doing it, if they put me in charge of doing it, they say, "Hey, Booms, how would you do it?" I would say I would prefer to do a single elimination tournament because I'd want to showcase our entire female roster. I'd want to show the fans, what they've got, introduce them, kind of give bios because yeah, we've seen, Smiley Kylie Ray, but we really don't know kind of what makes her tick, and then we could bring it and we could we could bring in Bea Priestley and say, "Hey, who is this woman? What makes her tick? What motivates her? Why is she here?" And then you can kind of see how the fans react. And then that way you can kind of gear, okay, well, the fans are reacting really big to this person. So maybe we should give them a bigger spot. Okay, they're not really reacting to this. Well, why are they not reacting to her? Maybe we could just tweak this, that, or the other, and then improve on that character. And then it gives you matches to fill out your cards, which is great because it's great to not have to sit there and like struggle to think about, okay, who's going to fight who without blowing off like a big payday at a pay-per-view. So it gives you reasons to keep watching all these events as it leads up to TV in the fall. And at the end, whoever wins, I mean, you make some headlines. And I'm just saying, if I wanted to make big headlines, the two people I would put it on is Awesome Kong, because she's going to have some crossover experience because, for one, she was formerly in the WWE. She was formerly in TNA. And plus, she also has a role in the Netflix series Glow, which would be some maybe people who watch that would want to see her wrestle in real life. Or Nyla Rose, simply because, this would be historic. It'd be groundbreaking, first ever transgender wrestler. This would definitely be, and please don't misunderstand what I'm about to say, but it would be unusual, not like an oddity, but it would just be like completely out of the ordinary for a transgender person to win a wrestling championship and it not, get attention. I mean, it's just like, whoa, that's never happened before. Boom, let's do a story on it. And that's the reason why I would do that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I was watching the YouTube video and not the box because I was looking at the comments and you were still talking but went silent. So I thought we dropped audio. Well, I didn't realize it's a couple seconds. I'm stupid. Moral of the story is I'm not a clever man. Why can't AEW crown? Oh, we already did that one. AEW hasn't said they are going to do intergender wrestling. All right. I don't know. That's one of those. I think you just have to give it time.
Yeah, I feel like give it some time. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know. My honest answer is I don't know, but give it probably 6 months and then we'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Was shocked by the passing of UK wrestler Lionheart. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Sad story. How are you and Booms doing? I'm doing okay. Just working a lot. I want to do more, but I work a lot.
Just living a life.
How are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just living a life in Central Virginia.
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be negative. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be negative. I like to see the comments as an open discussion, and I don't like Booms will be the first one to tell you, and I don't always see myself as correct. Like sometimes I'm in a minority, sometimes I think differently, and that's okay. I'm not a big fan of groups of people that think the same way, and that scares me about New Japan's future fans.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, having a different, I don't know. I met a friend I did radio with, Chuck Carter. We started a radio career together, and I saw him like in over 10 years. And just, yeah, like back in the day, we could have disagreements. Me and Boom Boom have disagreements all the time, but it seems like that's kind of dying. It's okay to be negative, and it's okay to have different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Absolutely fine.
We should hear other people's ideas. That's all. And here's the thing: we also live in a world where you always have to be correct. Sometimes you're not correct. I call that life. Booms, Hot tag, next story.
Hot tag to me. We're going to talk a little AAA right here out of Mexico. First of all, I want to say that there's a big update that Aerostar, which you may remember him from Lucha Underground, he's okay after he took a leap off a light instructor.
Oh, yeah, I saw that and retweeted it. That was.
Oh my God, dude! Fuck. He wound up having to be stretchered out, and believe it or not, they provided an update, and he turns out he's fine. He jumped off this lighting structure, and when he hit one of the guys, he kind of he went forward, and he kind of came down on his head, neck, and then when he after he hit the ground, he kind of grabbed at his knee, and I was like, oh shit! It looked absolutely horrible, but turns out he's gonna be just fine. So that's some positive news. If you haven't seen that clip of him, the only reason I'm telling you to watch it is because he's okay. It was pretty nasty, and that one it looked like Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux were legitimately fucking shocked and concerned, at least from what I could see on that clip.
Yeah, but yeah, to me that was amazing / scary. So, and the fact that he survived and seems to have no worries is even crazier. But yeah.
And that's actually not the big AAA news. AAA is actually coming to Los Angeles. They're going to come into the Forum in Los Angeles on Sunday, October 13th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, as of this recording, on a Friday. They've got a little pre-sale going. They had Tejano, Dr. Wagner Jr., Drago, Blue Demon Jr., and Aerostar, again, of all people. They were in attendance at a little bit of a press conference announcing that. And this is coming after they're going to do a show at Madison Square Garden on September 15th. So it's looking like AAA is starting to stick their big toe into the water here about coming into the United States and doing some shows here. And I think that's possible. It's very for one, I'm surprised it really took them this long to start trying to do shows in the United States, especially places like California. I mean, why would you not want to do shows in California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, places where they have huge Hispanic populations? You really wouldn't need to change anything because, hell, even the fucking white people down there speak some Spanish.
Yeah.
So I just don't know why it's taking, but I'm glad that they're doing it. It gives fans an alternative. It gives them a look at something different. It's something new. Very enjoyable. So I'm really wishing AAA the best of luck with this.
Yeah, and all that, but nowadays with internet streaming service and all that, why wouldn't you expand and go everywhere? And all that, but California, Texas, Florida, they just love that style of pro wrestling, and there's a history of that style of pro wrestling. So lucha style of wrestling. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it's because I was a promoter during the early days of the internet. Much love, James Legend. Much love, Combat TV. But now it's so fucking easy. I was years after ECW, and I was like, man, when technology gets better, this is going to be amazing. Imagine Paul Heyman with the power of the internet. I don't know. I just think they got to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. So yeah, so hopefully they get it. I mean, I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think nowadays it's easy as fuck to get your shit out. It's just harder to notice because there's a lot of people. When we streamed television, we had millions of people watching because no one knew what the fuck streaming television was or how to do it. We were fucking pioneers at the fucking time. We weren't the first, but we were fucking very close to the first. So, yeah, I just think all promotions should reach out.
I kind of wish AAA, if they're not doing it now, I know that they're broadcasting on Twitch. And if you want to watch them, subscribe to their channel on Twitch, it's going to cost you roughly $5 a month, give or take a buck or two.
Oh, I don't know. I get it free. I'm watching it right now.
Oh, do they have English commentary?
Oh, I don't know if it's English commentary. Let's find out. No, that is definitely not the English. And
I really think that they could do that. I mean, they could just get somebody like, why not bring in Matt Stryker and they bring in somebody else who's bilingual? And then I really think you could bring it. I mean, all you'd have to do is just use their Twitch feed. You could really just have them sitting at home with a fucking headset and a mic and just do commentary.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I agree with that.
The reason why I say that is it's not that I'm necessarily opposed to the Spanish coverage. Is for one, my Spanish is fucking horrible, and two, I kind of want to know what's going on. I want to know what story they're trying to tell. I mean, I know you can see the physical part of it, but when they start saying something, it's like I want to know what they're saying. What's the passion that why are they mad at that guy? Why do they want to like ground that guy into dust? Why? What's coming up next? What's the story behind this guy? Because I may not be familiar with him. So that's the reason I want English commentary. I mean, it worked for New Japan, and I think AAA could really benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, and not that, but bilingual people with that language skills, in America, they're very beyond common. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and there's just tons. All right. Yeah, I wish him nothing but the best. Mooms, I'm going to go to live comments, all right?
Yeah, live comments. Let's go.
AEW needs to make the DR champ.
The doctor, he's talking about Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh, okay.
Not opposed to that.
Yeah. I don't know enough about her besides what I saw. I think I've seen her 2 or 3 matches. James Weiser says, question, is Sonny Kiss a man or a woman? I'll let Boom says, man, this is me. I'm an inner peace guy. When it comes to race and sexuality, whatever they say they are, I'm just going with. And I don't know if that's politically correct, but
actually it is.
I don't have a dog in the fight. So if he's like, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm just all right, cool. And it's funny too, because like, this is kind of an embarrassing story. Sword Dog, he's a guy that he made KocoSports.net. He's a great friend. I don't keep in contact with him. Well, I do, but not as much as I should. He made KocoSports.net. He also he did like, I don't know. He just does a lot of video game stuff. If you want to become a streamer, a channel, and you don't curse, he's the guy to go to. He's a great guy. One of my friends is like, well, what nationality is he? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And we were friends for like over 10 plus years. And I'm like, it's too late to ask now. Like we're past that bridge. No idea. Pablo, I love you. No idea where you're fucking from. No idea. And his son's like, hey, dude, is he Mexican? Is he Puerto Rican? Is he from Iran? I'm like, I don't know. And it's too late. We've been friends for like 12 years. That boat is passed. I can't ask him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me. And I don't know if that's the right answer, but that's my honest answer. Whatever he says he is, that's what he is to me, Booms is like, no. Booms, do you disagree, agree?
Well, no, I think it's a fair question, but no, as far as I know, in real life, Sonny Kiss is legitimately a homosexual, and that's not like a shot, because when Jim Cornette was talking shit about AEW and said that, Sonny Kiss was dancing around like a something at the Tropicana. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but at least that one particular word. Somebody said, how dare you insult my boyfriend or my husband, something like that. And I was just like, okay, so it's a man, but he's legitimately a homosexual. So that's just, he's kind of like doing like an American take on an Exotico. In Mexico, it's where men, dressed as women and they wrestle, kind of like a female style. So he's like the American version of that. That's all that is. Next comment, James Legend, of all people. Good to see he's up and running. Combat TV used to take me almost a full day to render and upload, and that's without editing.
Yeah. But technology today is so much better. I'm sure he does a lot better on Brawl USA.
And then Jamie Weisner says, Vampiro was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Sad situation. Yeah. We reported that it was a few months ago, that he was starting to show the early stages of Alzheimer's, and he was going to try to fight it, try to beat it. So, but yeah, definitely sad situation. Well, it really kind of surprises me, because he's really not that old. He's only in his 40s. And I just think in your 40s and you're already starting to show signs of Alzheimer's. To me, that's I've never heard of a case like that. And of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I've just personally have never. I mean, you know, you hear about old people starting to, you know, it starts to kind of creep in and it starts to happen. But I've never heard of somebody so young starting to show those symptoms.
I am not a doctor, but I've collect concussions like they're Pokemon. This seems to me, and like I said, I'm not a doctor. It's a concussion situation because the more concussions you have, the earlier it can come on. Now, I could be completely wrong. I have no facts whatsoever, just throwing out there because, well, I have a bunch of concussions. And that's what I was told by people smarter than me. So, Evie J says AEW needs a release. Sony Kiss is a dude, and so is Nyla Rose. See, here's the thing, guys. I know this is going to be very unpopular. I don't care enough to comment. You know what I mean? Like if Boom, and maybe this is making me an asshole, or maybe I'm politically correct, or maybe I don't give a fuck at such a high level. If Boom Boom put on a wig and said, I'm a woman, I'm like, all right, Boobs, that's you, bro. That's you. You do you, man. And I think I'm at the fine line of I'm pissing off everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm politically correct enough to fit in with the politically correct people, but I'm also not very scientist enough to, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever someone says they are, I don't give a fuck at the highest level. I just go with it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, you're that race? Sure, whatever, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, as far as
good for you.
Yeah, Dave, real quick here. As far as Evilise goes, as far as I know, I don't think she was not one of the ones former the Lucha Underground talent was able to get out of her contract. The other guys had basically had to start threatening to take these guys to court, and that's when they got the releases. I'm not sure if Evilise was one of the ones who did that. Plus, I think she was starting to train or practice for an MMA career.
Jimmy Weiser says, I don't care what he says. He is. But I was just wondering. I know it's the most unentertaining answer in the world. I just don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean? Like you're like, tell me about the economy in Poland. I'm like, you know what I mean? Am I wrong, Boobs? Am I wrong?
No, it's not worth the drama.
Yeah. There's no telling how many concussions Vampiro has had in his 30 years of wrestling. Yeah. And and like I said, please don't take what I say as a doctor saying it. I'm just saying that's what I was told, and I'm passing on the information. If someone goes, I'm completely full of shit, I'm going to back away slowly. You know what I mean? So, just something I was told. That's all. And it released at a tryout camp for WWE at the PC. Yeah.
Performance Center. Yeah. Now that one's new to me, and I thought she'd burn that bridge because she was part of the organization back when it was FCW. They had her dye her hair blonde or whatever, and then she eventually left that.
Wasn't that because she was harassed?
Now that I don't know. I don't think she's ever talked about that. I mean, it may have just been a bad experience, and then I'm not saying that it was a bad experience because she was sexually harassed or was not sexually harassed, but I'm just saying I've not heard that aspect of it.
Gotcha. Jamie's agreeing with Heavy J. That is very true. All right, Booms, we got any more news stories?
Yeah, we got one more here. It's kind of course, the G1 climax coming up here in just a few weeks. They're going to start it off on 4th of July weekend in Dallas, Texas. And as soon as my computer loads here, the story here, I'm going to tell you about the card coming up now. For those of you who follow our network at KocoSports.com and follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, which you should do anyway. As soon as New Japan made that announcement, I made a video about it, shared my thoughts about the A block and the B block, talked about and fucking exit. Okay, Dave, I'm gonna have to reload this page. You're gonna have to kill time here while this fucking webpage reloads here. I know professionalism. But real quick, Dave, and I'll tell you what, I'll set up. I'll tee one up for you. I'll softball toss you this one.
I got it.
All right, so real quick, we talked about the A block. We talked about the B block. It's going to be 20 men. What do you think about the blocks? And plus, Minoru Suzuki threatening to take someone out and take his spot in the G1 Climax. So who do you think it will be?
Taichi. I'm very excited about the G1. I know that I'm the only asshole who's on the internet that's critical of New Japan at times. And here's the thing. I try to wear my emotions on my sleeve. I've busted balls about fucking the booking being fucking god awful. And it was. Some people lived in fucking denial. It was bad. But when the booking is good, I step back and give them fucking compliments. I honestly think they are fucking hitting home run after home run going into this G1 tournament. I know, like, you're supposed to be on the like, no. When they book like shit, I call them out on it. When they book amazingly, I call them out on it. So, to me, I'm very happy with the booking. I do hope Suzuki takes over for Taichi or one of those guys. Or just Taichi. Let's just take Taichi out. I'm glad Yoshihashi's not in the tournament, and the matchups are beyond fucking believable. And the booking, man, you know what? It's so funny too because like I called them out from 1-5 to I don't fucking know. They fixed their shit though, but 1-5 through 2 Iron Sheiks in a row, it was bad. And people are like, "Oh, it's long-term booking. It's long-term booking." I'm like, no, it's just bad booking. And now I'm known as the guy who's like, you say New Japan sucks. I'm like, no, I calls it as I sees it. Now I think they're fucking hitting home run after home run. You know what I mean? So that's I don't know, it's weird because like I feel like we've aired almost all my opinions and they're pretty fucking consistent and I'm one to eat fucking crow. But now, like, people are hitting me up on social media, and I don't social media as much as I used to. I fucking need to pick up my social media game, Booms. But I'm not the guy that fucking hates all the booking. I just hate the booking when it fucking sucks, and we blindly defend it. But if it's fucking good, and I do believe it's fucking good right now. So, yeah. You want me to go to live comments, or do you have it up? Because we have like 3
I got it up now. It's going to first of all, I want to say fuck you to CBS Sports with all your goddamn pop-up ads and all this shit about to slow my computer to a fucking crawl. So go fuck yourself. So I'm going to switch over here to a different website here for the G1 Climax schedule. It's going to start on July 6th, Dallas, Texas, and it's going to take us all the way to night 18 and August 11th in Tokyo. So we got it. So buckle your seatbelts, kids. This is going to be a fucking bumpy ride. So I'm just going to release the first couple of nights here. The first night in Dallas, Lance Archer versus Will Ospreay, Bad Luck Fale versus Evil, Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr., Kenta versus Kota Ibushi, and I love it. And they're going to fight forever. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada.
You know what? And I am one, speaking of, like, hey, as an old school New Japan fan, all right? Don't worry, you can fucking. Some of the. I'm disappointed. I'm like an old New Japan dad. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm very disappointed with the new young fan base. Goddamn whippersnappers. As an old school New Japan fan, I'm so happy that G1 is starting off in Dallas. With that said, I also have plenty of times said I love Tanahashi except when he steps in the ring with Okada. All right, that's on record a lot. I do believe one of the biggest booking mistakes of all time was Tanahashi beating Okada when he should have lost at the Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. But with that said, it being in America, it being a big thing, them having to face off if they're in the same block, this makes perfect sense. You know, and if that makes me a hypocrite, you know, things change your opinions. They have to wrestle each other if they're in the same block. Why not do it in a country that hasn't seen it before?
Yeah.
So overall, I find it, and not all that, but Booms. I don't know when, and maybe you have the schedule thing. Is when it yeah. if Okada and Kenta go one-on-one and it's in Tokyo, I might have to fucking go. That has been a dream match of mine for a really, really long time. And I apologize for not knowing when it is, but either Booms is going to tell me in 5 seconds or I'm going to find out because I'm going to try to get tickets for it.
Okay, for Okada versus Kenta, you're going to have to wait to night 9 on July 27th in Nagoya.
That's too far. I have a job.
Nagoya. Yeah, that's a black match. It's going to be the main event on night 9 on July 27th.
Yeah, can you imagine it not being the main event? Like, you have to follow the dream match of all dream matches. It's kind of like when Hogan and Rock fucking faced each other and they weren't in the main event. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Jon Moxley will not be there in Dallas. He will not be part of the press conference, and I think this is mainly due to contractual obligations with All Elite Wrestling. I think that prevents him from, making appearances and doing stuff like that in the United States for another company.
I don't know. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about this, but the stronger feeling of the mixed feelings is I think this is cool. I'm okay with it. I give it a pass.
As long as he's in it.
Yeah. So I'm okay with this. All right. Yeah, I'm super excited. And they're just doing home run after home run. And matter of fact, if you're not a New Japan fan, the G1 is the perfect time to jump aboard. Because it's basically a basho of pro wrestling, and it's a tournament of pro wrestling. And it's the perfect jumping off point. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you've never watched New Japan and you want to get into it, start with the G1. I think it's going to be amazing. So
yeah, this tournament's going to have consequences that go into January.
So yeah, it's can't wait. I am going to 1-4. I'm going to 1-5. It feels weird saying I'm going to both. But with that said, please have 2 great fucking wrestlers in the main event. All right, that's all I want.
And I should mention that after night 1 on July 6th, you're going to have to wait all the way to July 13th for night 2. You'll see Juice Robinson take on Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito versus Toru Yano, Jeff Cobb versus Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto versus Switchblade Jay White, and Jon Moxley versus Taichi.
Yeah, I don't know what to say except fuck, man. It's going to be a great time. I might fucking, like, for real, if I get let go tomorrow and I love my job, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I get to watch the G1 and stream all day. I love my job, but man, I'd love to watch a lot of G1. But yeah, I can't wait. Fuck. I think the rest Booms. I'm pretty sure it's just me going, fuck, man, that's amazing. That's gonna be my response to everything. Am I wrong for giving that response for everything?
No, I mean, you should be wanting to give your response to everything. I mean, because look at these matchups. I mean, night 3, Sonata versus Will Ospreay, Okada versus ZSJ, Evil versus Ibushi, Tanahashi versus Kenta. Night 4, you got Jeff Cobb versus Moxley, and I'm just going down there. Evil versus Sonata on night 5. I mean, this is just, it's absolutely fucking stacked. And not to kind of tip their hands, but I'm going to give you like the last 2 nights, night 17, night 18. This kind of may let us know where everything winds up, because we're going to wrap everything up in the A block with Kenta versus Zack Sabre Jr., Evil versus Lance Archer, Bagluck Fale versus Sonata, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Will Ospreay, and Okada versus Ibushi.
Oh my God.
Oh, hell yeah. Take my fucking money. Night 18, Taichi versus Tomohiro Ishii. Goto versus Takagi. Wow, that's good. Oh God, that's going to be like a fucking train wreck. Like in a good way, like, 2 trains coming together. That's what I mean. Not like a disaster, but Cobb versus Yano, Moxley versus Robinson, and Switchblade versus Tetsuya Naito. So that, some of those matches might be for all the marbles.
All right.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see it comes out. And yeah, and none of that, but I'm excited to see what Cobb does. I know this is gonna fucking shock people. I think this is gonna be a huge factor in Jay White's career. Like, and I don't think him winning or losing is gonna matter. I think how he performs matters, especially for fans in Japan. Because you Western fuckers love him way more than we do. Yeah, so yeah, I'm very interested. I'm gonna go to some live comments.
All right.
But all I can say is, what a time to be a New Japan fan, you know. And think about how much they turned it around. And if anyone in the fucking comments or on another fucking show or fucking tweets me, oh, it's long-term booking. Just
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm just gonna go through shit real quick. All right, so a lot of stuff is getting blocked that makes no sense. That's getting blocked.
Mhm.
Listen, we are gonna unblock everything we can possibly unblock. I assure you, this is not us and it's YouTube. They announced it on Twitter, but she's still doing indies, so I'm assuming she ain't under contract. All right, I'm not sure what that's about, so I'm sure that made sense in context. James Legend thoughts on AEW blocking Moxley from working Dallas because he's exclusive to AEW in America. I am okay with this, and James, you know me. I was like, you can work anywhere except on our fucking turf. The promoter of me is like, fuck yeah, that makes sense. Fucking, he gets to go to Japan and fucking make money. What the fuck? But the fan of me is like, oh, that sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Booms, you've never been a fucking scumbag promoter like myself. So, what are your thoughts on it?
It makes sense. I mean, I kind of don't blame AEW. It's like the trade-off. It's like, okay, we're not going to hold you to an exclusive contract where you can only wrestle here and only see him here because that's what WWE does. So we'll let you wrestle elsewhere, but it cannot conflict with. You cannot miss any dates with AEW. You cannot do any kind of conflicts of interest, and you cannot wrestle for another promotion here in the United States. But if you want to go to Canada, Mexico, Japan, the UK, and wrestle, knock yourself out. But when you wrestle in the United States, you wrestle for us, and I think that's a fair trade-off.
Yeah, and maybe I'd love to see that change for the WWE in the future, because you know they are independent contractors, but we're opening up a can of worms that doesn't need to be opened right now.
Yep.
Or it's been opened up and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Ewok from Endor, thumbs up to support these guys. Much love, Ewok. Ewok's old school, man. Ewok, you gotta follow me on Twitch because I love it. Minoru belongs in a G1. I agree.
Yeah, as far as who could he like take out? I could see him taking out Tanahashi because Tanahashi's hurt. Remember the elbow injury?
Yeah.
So I could see something like that being an excuse to get Hiroshi Tanahashi, have him save face. I could see him replacing Lance Archer after the first night because, and this is just my opinion, and this is not a shot at him. He's a super nice guy. I've met him. He's awesome. Lance Archer, he's a Dallas guy. He's a Texas boy. He's really popular in North Texas where he's from, and I think that's why they put him in the G1 and they put him in the A block because he gets to start off the first night in Dallas, Texas, his hometown. And well, I don't know if it's Dallas is his home
state.
He's from there. He's from that area in hopes of selling tickets. But after that, do they really think he's got the endurance to go? They could have Suzuki go, yeah, you know what? It's not really working out. You let me take your place. And he's like, okay, boss. Yeah, sure. No problem. Or I could see, but that's two scenarios that I see. But as far as taking, I don't know who else he could possibly take out unless he wants to take like Toru Yano's place in the B block. But that's all I could really think of.
As a super
or an outside chance, maybe Juice Robinson. That's like an outside chance.
No, boo you! I'm throwing stuff at you.
I'm just throwing up against the wall. Who would they take out?
If we were in the same room right now, I'd be throwing tissues at you. I'd be like, boo, boom, boom. You're the worst.
Oh, I don't know. I like Juice Robinson. I want him to stay in. I'm just like thinking like, who could it possibly be if they're going to go that route?
And the greedy fan of me says Taichi. And then anyone else that's injured, you know. Not that, but if they're injured, he can like hear me out, like booking wise, if someone gets injured, you don't announce it and he just attacks him and takes over his place. So
Mhm.
maybe he's a safety net. Yeah. And speaking of being a greedy fan, not one Taichi there, can we stop this on Facebook? I'm tired of going to my favorite pro wrestling companies and some fucking fat fucking horrible fucking human beings like fucking fans are so greedy. I'm tired of them fucking complaining. Complaining about complainers is by far the dumbest fucking thing ever. And seriously, if I was fucking Thanos, you would be the first motherfuckers dusted. And fuck you. That has nothing to do with the G1. I just fucking man, everyone. I'm like, oh man, I wonder what's going on in this AEW group. Oh, fans should stop crying. I wonder what's going on in this New Japan group. Oh, what? Okay, okay. Every community has this asshole. I guess so. All right. If you're that guy, just stop. You're a fucking asshole. Ewok from Endor. Oh, Booms, you're gonna like this.
All right.
Do you believe the theory of AEW is in cahoots with WWE? Vince Russo's interview with Hannibal. I did not know this story. And Boom Boom said, let's lead with this story. And I was like, all right. And when the show aired, I was like, I think that's the worst fight we've ever had.
Well, I was just like, okay, let me just bring this up here. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about how ridiculous, because I think it's fucking ridiculous. And Coco's like, how dare you, Boom Boom? How dare you bring that? That's so fucking stupid. You know, that's just, you're stupid. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying this. I'm just reporting what we're saying. I don't care. It's stupid. You're stupid for bringing it up.
First off, that's exactly how I sound. Second off, I love when someone mocks you and you know it's exactly how you sound. First off, that's exactly how I sound. Second off, I wasn't mad in theory. I was just mad how it was like a news story. Like, we're really going to talk about this? If it is absolutely true, who gives a shit? We get a good pro wrestling product. But it's the dumbest fucking thing ever. So, like, if one day they're like, oh, Vince McMahon owns AEW. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. He owns NXT and it's fucking good. I don't hate WWE because of the letters. I hate it because the fucking product sucks a dick. But I don't pay attention to anything Vince Russo says or does or cares.
Well, I mean, if you want, I mean, look, if you want to go back, Ewok, if you want to go back, we actually did a show about this, and I can, but I got to give you the Cliff Notes version. Is I think it's ridiculous because, you know, one, why would you want to create your own competition? I mean, you would have to talk another billionaire into spending his own money, plus you're going to give programming to a competing television station. And, you know, you're driving, like, you're causing the company to spend more money. You're causing WWE to, instead of offering people 2 and 3 year contracts, to offer them 5-year contracts or even more money. So you're spending more money. So to me, that just doesn't make sense from any kind of standpoint.
Yeah. MJ, if Suzuki gets to the G1, it'll be known as the Suzuki Murder Tour. And I totally slaughtered his name. Jing. Heavy J, I have no idea why they banned this, but all right. Hold on. Koco is the Nagata of New Japan fandom. I just feel like I'm the old guy who gets shit on. Like, I feel like it's like, man, I really like New Japan. I've been to over fucking 10 Wrestle Kingdoms. And like, fuck you, old man. You don't know shit. Like, all right, well, that's cool. It's cool.
For one of these shows with you one of these days.
What's that?
I want to go to one of those shows with you one of these days. I just don't know how I'm going to pull it off.
Well, if you can find I can order your tickets for you because I'm part of the New Japan Club because they wouldn't let me quit. I literally called and be like, dude, I'm gonna quit because I'm gonna quit because Jay White's the champ. I'm very passionate about Jay White not being champ at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe it's a horrible idea. Just stick to that fucking, put that on my goddamn tombstone. Second, they were just like, no, Dave, we're not letting you quit the fan club. Like, they wouldn't let me quit. And I was like, it's not about the money. It's about the message. Booms, how often have you heard me say that during my lifetime? But New Japan wasn't having any of it. They were like, no. They're like, you're not quitting. I'm like, okay, cool. But now that I didn't quit, I still have access to tickets that become faster. And On top of access having tickets, you can crash at my place. So it's easier now than ever, Booms.
All right.
I can't. Jamie Weiser says I can't count how many times I've heard Coco say he likes Tanahashi, except when he's in wrestles Okada. Yeah, I agree. Tanahashi versus Okada is great. I think that was my first experience with what I call Noob Japan fans. My son says that. He doesn't say Noob Japan fans. He just calls everyone noobs. And now, like, I've started doing it sarcastically, and now I actually really say it. Booms. What's wrong with me? But
I don't know. Your son embarrassed.
I think that was the first one that I had Noob Japan fans, is that people were like, oh, this is a perfect storyline. And like, no, it wasn't. It was an extended storyline so that the West, I don't know if you're supposed to say Westerners or not. Jesus Christ, I fucking hate the world. But people that living outside of Japan, who were like, no, this is such a great fucking story. And it's like, no, you John Wicked it. And oh, I know John Wick's amazing. That fucking movie should have ended. John Wick 1. Why did the fucking boss murder his fucking friends and then call him? I understand murdering his friend, but to call him? The movie's over. Wrap this shit up. Fucking A. You gotta see fucking 12 more hours of John Wick killing people? You're a fucking idiot. You're the dumbest fucking gangster ever. You're the dumbest of the dummy heads. Booms, did we just go from Okada to John Wick?
Yes, we did. I don't know how the hell we made that leap, but we did.
Tanahashi versus Okada is great. New Japan always tries to put on the best matches during the G1. I agree. Ewok from Andor. This message is held for review. I don't know if I should fucking show it. I'll show it because you're Ewok. Anyone else I would have just been bullied. Where is Ewok? Jay White, best New Japan champ since AJ Styles. What? Ewok, I love you. You are godfather in the internet infantry, okay? You can do no wrong. What is it? Tenure? Ewok has tenure in the internet infantry. If it wasn't for your seniority and my love of you, you would be banned for life. Life. I've never banned anyone, but you're getting a point. I respect your seniority. You know what I mean? But no, I did a no one fucking pissed me off. I did a video, and the video fucking clearly is fucking 1 hour long about me passionately ranting, fucking breaking it down as much as a mad lunatic can. And then, like, there's still fucking assholes in the comments. They're like, what about this guy? I'm like, I literally read down the list and why he's worse than every fucking guy. And then they always send me this fucking documentary, and it's amazingly done. This motherfucker's like, oh, why don't you watch this documentary? You'll like fucking Jay White. I actually fucking hate him more. I fucking hate him more. The documentary sucks. They're like, ooh, this is a scene from the documentary. This is why I like Jay White. When he goes for the back elbow, he fucking ducks. No. Dude, if I had a fucking gun, I would have shot a bunch of holes in my fucking computer screen. Just like, what? But you know what? I do not like Jay White in the rain. I do not like Jay White on a train. I do not like. No, actually, I don't even hate Jay White that much. I just don't think he should be champion at that time. And I stick to that. Is this a make or break for Jay White during the G1? For me, this is the G1 he has to prove himself. Because unpopular opinion, that's my new nickname, Mr. Unpopular. Wait, Mr. Unpopular Opinion. Either one works. Mr. Unpopular here. I think Jay White was given an honest chance against Tanahashi and shit the bed. I think Jay White was given an honest chance against Okada and wasn't worthy. I think he's the worst fucking champion of all time. But what about Bob Sapp? What about you watch the fucking video? And I honestly think Jay White has an opportunity to prove assholes like me wrong. And I will be rooting for him. And when if he proves me wrong, it does not change my opinion. He shouldn't have been champion at that moment in time. I don't care how many Infinity Stones you have. I don't care if old man Captain America goes back and forth. He, in every goddamn dimension and every timeline, he should have not been champion at that time. But Hopefully he proves me wrong. But here's the thing. I'm going to come on and be like, I was fucking wrong. And then, yeah, that's what I do. History repeats itself. Or that, or I'll just be another fucking shit the goddamn bed. Cobb needs to buy the Matana's gimmick so he can switch between the two gimmicks. That'd be nice. I totally slaughtered Matanza's name. I hate hearing the negative stuff about companies on Facebook from people who dislike the company. See, I don't mind that. I don't know. I think if you dislike a company all the fucking time, you should go to a pro wrestling forum and bitch about it, not to there. Like if I hated AEW, like I hate WWE's product. I never go on WWE's fucking Facebook ever. Why? Why bother? So that I do. But I hate people that are like, oh, here's AEW. I don't like this about AEW. And then there's some fucking fan that's like, oh, I hate fans who fucking complain. It's just like, dude, we get it. We get it. Look at you. Fucking idiot. And that is my Vince Russo is always talking nonsense. I think he used to be popular and lost it. Hey, we've been there, Booms. Not as his level, but and I think he'll just say anything, you know. So Vince Russo's out of his mind. No, I think he's just say anything to fucking look at me, I used to be important. You know, I think a lot of people think that about Jay White, but I'll be the first motherfucker to be like, that fucking guy. I don't know. I'll never admit that was a good time for him to be champ ever. I agree with what Jim Cornette thinks about Russo. I don't know. They just hate each other.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually more so geared towards on Cornette's end.
The person I dislike the most of pro wrestling is Vince Russo. I don't know who I dislike the most. I don't know. I guess like the obvious, you know, McMahon at times. Probably McMahon most of the times. Trying to find. You know what? Russo's up there. Cena's up there. But you know who's fucking surprisingly up there? And I'm in the minority? Mr. Unpopular? I think JR. JR is up there high for me of people. Yeah, I just love your reaction to Mr. White. Yeah, fucking people like poking a bear. Jay White shouldn't have been champ. Thank you. No, we're ready. So Russo is trying to stay relevant. Yes, that's the best way of fucking. I love when the internet, when I stutter, like, and then like the internet imagery is like one sentence and like, oh, well, you summed up 5 minutes of me being an idiot perfectly. Yeah, he's just trying to stay relevant. Booms, do you want to plug a bunch of stuff to give him a last chance to get into
Yeah. I'll plug some stuff here. We're going to be sure to check us out, KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports, where the world goes to kick ass, most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Give us a big thumbs up, please, and hit that notification bell, because when we do these shows, we actually like our audience interaction, so you can get your questions in, and it can be immortalized here forever on this video. Be sure to buy a copy of Operation Freak Show, available on Amazon.com right now, and subscribe to Coco Plays. Actually, it's KocoSports. Actually, it's Twitch TV/KocoSports. You can watch him play NBA, Madden, NHL, and Fire Pro Wrestling as Okada only for hours and hours on end.
All right. Ewok says great shows. Jamie Weiser said, I dislike Russo and McMahon the most. And I'm in a hard pitch. My passion in life right now. Yes, I'm a novelist. Yes, I have a bear friend. Yes, I am a teacher at many different schools. Yes, I have a lot going on in my life. And it means nothing. All that matters is twitch.tv/KocoSports, okay? I love Boom Boom. But if he didn't follow me on Twitch, this channel would be closed. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, guys, I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm taking it pretty seriously. Look, Booms, this is how fucking serious I'm taking it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, fuck, you can't. Never mind. You're going to have to take my word for it. We are soundproofing the room. So I'm going to Twitch now. Yeah, I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna kiss a bear friend, and then a female bear friend. I don't want to get any fucking, you know. I mean, if you're gonna sleep with a bear, it's got to be female. All right. All right. I think I offended everyone in that comment.
Dave, I just think you just kept digging that hole, and just when I didn't think he'd get any digger, no, hang on, hold my beer, and you just kept digging.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Twitch. It's called Okada's Thursday Night Twitch Thunder. So there you go. And KocoSports.net, please check it out. Jerry slowly but surely updating it so that we can take pride in it. And yeah, we are trying to get back into nerding. Real life is getting in the way, but we're trying.
Yeah. For the record, Jerry's always slowly doing something. The key word is slowly. And we've been trying to get back to nerding and be back to the way we were for about the past fucking decade now.
Well, Booms, real life is fucking hard, okay? You ever fucking realize that? All right, I'm doing the pee-pee dance, Booms. Do you want to say anything, or you just want to wrap this bad boy up?
Good night, everybody.
With that, I am over. Hey, bum.